friends. Crazy.
I'm kind of jealous, actually.
I had 37 the other day for a low on the weekend.
Yeah.
It's like,
for a moment, I thought you were talking about golf. I was like, ooh.
Oh, I wish. Yeah.
For 9:37?
You ain't first, you're last.
You think the FBI are the only ones on this guy?
The key to victory is anticipation.
If she were a president, she'd be Abraham Lincoln.
Fear is the path to the dark side.
You are tearing me apart, Lisa!
You are a sad, strange little man.
Boy, that escalated quickly.
When you want to talk sports, you ask folks who have seen it all up close. So on The Al Travis Show, we go with the guys at the end of the bench. Time to talk all things sports.
Absolutely love having these cats on the program. John and Dan, the guys at the end of the bench. Before we do a whole lot of sports stuff, and there's plenty to talk about today. I don't want to take up a lot of time. I want to ask you guys, we've been doing this for 4+ years. I mean, and we're in that ballpark somewhere. You guys looking at the
you and I are. I think Dan joined a couple of years ago.
Okay, so Dan's in for a couple of years. We don't talk a lot of politics, but my life has gotten weird in the last couple of days since the Charlie Kirk shooting, the assassination. In that, I on the program outside of sports, no problem. Whoever you want to root for, is we try to get everybody on. Just try really hard to make sure everybody can. And I don't recall a time in the 5 years of doing this anybody's got upset. I mean, you say what you want. Maybe somebody down the road might be yelling at the radio. I don't know. But on the program, we don't. And I get thinking about this because on my, YouTubes or the X's and the social media crap, the amount of stuff I saw that literally hit my heart was terrible. There'd be stuff, obviously, for Charlie, which was really nice. Kim, family man. I get that. But it was the people dancing, singing, and doing some stuff, a jig on his. And I sit here thinking to myself, why are politics so much different than what we do? We could get a Green Bay Packer on the show, and not that there are many around here, but we could, and we would talk, and we would joke, and we'd say you're wrong, and your quarterback sucks, and all that. And know what we do? We'd go buy the next round of beers. It isn't you disagree with me on whatever, so now I need you. It's just, why can't we do our lives like we do our sports? We all have a friend who's a freaking Green Bay Packer fan. We don't hate them. And I just want to know if we can't get that in the rest of Minnesota. Am I nuts? I started crossing people off my social media because I could not see that in them. They weren't the people I thought they were. Does that make any sense? I'm sorry, I just had to kind of blow it out, John. I'm not trying to tell anybody. I don't want to tell anybody who you got to believe, what you got to believe.
No, right.
But Jiminy Christmas, we got to get better.
No, you're absolutely right. I mean, I think of, I think of, of course, we're old enough to remember these guys, but, Ramstead and Durenberger, and these were the guys that, that talked frequently about their buddies and the, I mean, even Al Franken, in his books after he was, or from when he was in the Senate, he talked about how good of friends he was with, with some of the Republican senators. And I mean, even that recent. So back in the 2000s.
I remembered giving Wellstone a ride to his bus came through here in southern Minnesota, Paul Wellstone. That guy, he and I didn't agree on a thing. I loved him within an hour of meeting the guy. He was infectious. He believed what he believed, and he was going to try to talk into it. No hard feelings, buddy. We just disagree. I love that cat. I met him for all of an hour, and I just loved him. But where did that go? Is it all social media? Is this what's driving this crap? If, John, you decided something I said you hated, what drives you out to your car to take a video of you dancing and singing about? Why do you got to publish it? It's different. Who cares what you think? It hurt people's feelings. It hurt mine. I was really weird yesterday. I'm sorry I'm being all girly about this.
I really backed off on my political posts for that reason now. Once in a while I post something, and you chime in, and we discuss it, and I think it's all great, right?
Yeah.
But you don't hate me. I don't hate you.
Yeah.
I think social media has given people a way to express themselves. It's things they really feel deep inside that they would never say in public and never say to somebody's face.
Mm-hmm.
But they feel like they can chime in almost anonymously, say these things and spew it out. And I got a theory here, and we could talk about this another time, that that's part of the appeal of Donald Trump, because he says the stuff that some people are thinking inside.
See, you're not necessarily wrong. No. I'm with you 100%. I think he says stuff the rest of us were scared to say for a long time. Let me ask you this. So back in our day, because that's how old we gentlemen were, we must have had crazies, those that will go do crazy stuff like this.
Sure we did.
But they must have been intimidated because they didn't have other people to talk to. Who were they talking to? There was no internet.
Yeah.
I propose that the nut jobs we're seeing today go on some chat thing somewhere, put in conservatives suck, and all of a sudden there's 100 people across the country. You're right, buddy. You're this. All of a sudden they can find those people. When we were growing up, we must have the same nut. They just didn't have friends. They didn't have the ability to feed on each other.
The outlet.
You're right. You wouldn't get the validation.
That's it. Yeah, one can say, "Oh, you're absolutely right. This is the way you're going to be famous." I think the internet's doing that to us. I do, because what's different? You can hate guns. Guns been around for a long time. Something's using them differently. And the other thing I would say, and then we got to talk sports. Back in our day, if someone wanted to do self-harm, they did it. Now they seem to want to have a stage on the way out. What am I going to do? I'm going to shoot a bunch of kids on my way out. I'm going to do They found some platform that makes what they're going to do all right. And this air quotes people, I don't know. It's just different today.Hy are people doing that on their way out? What's that?
I'll be famous, whether or not the other people think I'm all right. It's other people are at least sympathetic.
I know my name. Yeah. All right. I'm sorry for going off, and I really had a tough night last night. Just Xing out a lot of people out of my life. My social media. I don't hate any of them, but some people just showed who they were, and I'm like, I can't do that. So anyway, I want to share. I appreciate you guys a ton. I really do.
The sad thing is that Kirk won't be the last one.
Exactly true. And this morning's commentary, a bunch of people saying, "No, this is the right's going to come back and get." No, everybody just stop. Put the guns down. Use your words like big boys, and let's talk. Absolutely. All right. The biggest offensive thing outside of that is J.J. McCarthy getting the Offensive Player of the Week. You got to be kidding. What? No, don't celebrate that. That is a joke. That he had one quarter. I'll tell you, Aaron Rodgers, and I hate that guy. Not hate in a bad way, but hate that guy. He had 4 touchdown passes. How is he not Offensive Player of the Week?
He's different conference now, too, for him.
Okay.
But,
stick up for Dan. He had a quarter.
I get your point. Like I said, when John, when we're messaging, when John had mentioned JJ got Offensive Player of the Week, I was like, Justin Jefferson,
with one catch.
That's an interesting. That's a bit of a stretch, but it was a big catch. So all right. That's JJ. But you got to be kidding me. I mean, we love. I mean, come on. We all want to love JJ. We want badly just to fall in love with him.
Evidently, the NFL does too.
It was too much. It's because he had the solo stage of Monday Night Football.
Yeah,
and he got a lot of attention for that. If it had been a Sunday game stuck in with all the other Sunday games, it would be a great story, but he would not have gotten the award.
And let's just one play goes one way or the other, and they don't win the ball game. He doesn't get it either, right? You get 3 touchdowns in a losing effort. You don't. Good for. I hope it's in his contract. I hope he just made like $1 million for getting the offensive player. I hope he got something for it. But what? Sorry, that's just joke time, baby. We'll go to break. I wasted too much time. We'll go to break. We'll talk about the NFL and what we expect coming up. I should mention, again, as long as we're talking about crappy things in the world, Green Bay did win last night. Son of a biscuit. More after this.
Braver Angels Minnesota is part of a national movement that brings together conservatives, liberals, independents, and others to restore trust, respect, and goodwill in politics. We seek not to eliminate our differences, but rather deal with them head on, with respect and understanding. We do not try to change people's views, but how they view the other side. There will always be differences. Braver Angels Minnesota believes the best way forward is to change how we deal with those differences. Join the civil conversation at mn.braverangels.org.
Achieving your financial goals requires individual planning and a comprehensive approach. At Midwest Money Management, our mission is to provide you with the knowledge, tools, and confidence to feel comfortable financially today and secure about tomorrow. Learn more at MidwestMoneyManagement.com. That's MidwestMoneyManagement.com.
Securities offered through JW Cole Financial Inc., member FINRA and SIPC. Advisory services offered through JW Cole Advisors Inc. Midwest Money Management and JW Cole Financial Inc. and JW Cole Advisors Inc. are unaffiliated entities.
Amongst friends, the Al Travis Show. Nothing but talk.
We got him, John and Dan. Quick side note on the game from last week. A field goal kicker got a 59-yard field goal. Read in the paper. I didn't understand it all. Somehow they misplaced it. It was going to be a 54-yarder, which would have meant nothing. They pushed it back. He made a 59-yarder. Does that mean they got the spot wrong? I read the article, and it's like maybe they got it right, but the coach would have then not kicked it. Confusing, but true. I have no idea what I just said. Read the story.
So weird.
Green Bay wins against Washington last night. Interestingly, their wide receiver Reed broke his collarbone. That'll change the team a little bit. Darn it. We are in a must-win situation in week 2. Would you both agree? We can't go down to a game on these guys. Must win.
Every weekend is a Super Bowl. You got to win the game.
Well, let's bust this down. Chicago and Detroit, talk about must win. Chicago and Detroit play tonight, so they're both over. Do they really go down 2 games? Which one goes down 2? You got to pick one. Is it Chicago or Detroit?
Ooh.
See, I'm going Detroit will win. Detroit cannot lose 2 in a row.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No,
it's got to be Detroit.
I'm not even,
well, if
not even pausing.
If Caleb plays like he did against the Vikings, they're going to be calling for his head in Chicago.
They can't lose another one like that. I think it was like 95% chance of winning. You know, you watch that little thing they do on the NFL that they're going to beat us with like, I don't know, 3 minutes left in the third quarter, 95% chance of win. And yeah, Chicago won't do it. I think Chicago loses.
I read some of the social media stuff. It was pretty ugly.
Yeah, well,
that's exactly it. We talked about earlier. That's social media.
I know.
It's like, that's not very representative of the real world. But
now,
yeah,
if our team had done the same, owned it for 3 quarters, and then just puked it up, we would be mad too. You know, with that's kind of so. But I'm going to go Detroit. John, did you say Dan's with Detroit winning?
Yeah, I give Detroit the edge.
All right, then we look at our game. It's the Sunday night. Can we get to bed before 10:30 anytime with these football people? Good God. Atlanta is here at home. They're giving us the field goal plus another half. They got Minnesota 3.5 over Atlanta. Is that enough? Who wins? This is another one of those quarterbacks in the 2024 draft. Who do you think is going to win it? Pick me some numbers.
I think we'll win. The bank is an intimidating place to play. And the crowd is really going to be behind JJ. So,
well, he was the offensive player of the week.
Well, that aside, I'm not saying it'll be a blowout, but
yeah.
I'm thinking something like 24-16, by a touchdown, give or take.
How about you, Dan?
I'm gonna take a very different perspective. I think it's gonna be a close loss. I mean, 3.5 points is basically a pick'em game if you throw in the home field advantage. So that's but I think it's gonna be like and the over-under still seems low to me. It was like
44. I agree. Yeah.
It still seems low to me. So I'm thinking it's going to be like a 30-27, that sort of thing. But I think it's going to be a loss.
See, and this is where Dan is so tough to be friends with, but I'm going to stick in with him. I disagree. I think Flores figured something out. He's not going to give a first half up trying to feel it out. I think he knows what he's got. We're going to see a defense we haven't seen for a while. And I think the coach on the other side as well figured something out. Get the run game going, and then we'll move on from there, and it opened everything up. I think this is one of those statement games that's going to show folks we didn't get lucky. We won this. I believe we win this about 30-17, somewhere in that ball. Then, yeah, I think this is
that.
That'll get better.
Atlanta's got a giant poster of J.J. McCarthy up in their locker room, and they go, NFC Offensive Player of the Week, question mark. And they are going to be gunning for him.
See, that doesn't help any, does it?
Well, carrying the crown is so hard to play football with the crown on. God, that was just horrible. Anyway, one last thing we can talk about before we go. The Lynx in their last game against Golden State whoops them up 72-53. Interesting because the last couple of weeks it hasn't really mattered in seeding. This one did, in that if they won, they could take the Valkyries on again in the first round. If they lost, they go to Seattle, who we have a problem with. So I think the coach said, really? You want to go show something? And they rocked on them. And the Lynx are in the playoffs. I think this might be our first championship since what? 1997? What, 82?
No, it's been 5 years, maybe? 6?
This would be... the gal. Yeah, if the Lynx win, this would be their 5th.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Be their 5th overall.
Be their 5th overall championship. So it's been, they had, what was it, 3 in a row? Back in was it 3 in a row back in the team?
Simone Augustus and Lindsay Whalen days. Yeah.
So
it's not right to say this, but it's obvious. 3 guys sitting here chatting. We can't remember the number of championships the ladies had, but we can go back and say, remember the draft of 2012 when we picked up this guy and traded this guy? We can go through a whole Herschel Walker trade again. Ladies, you got to pick up your game because I think we want to get behind it. You got to give us something.
I wasn't alive yet, but I can tell you some decent detail about the 65 World Series. So yeah.
It's kind of my point. We'll go back in history. We want to know this stuff, but we're there. All right. Quickly, if you can, Dan, I know you got stuff going on. Give us the details, the digits, and all that we need to know about the play.
Sweeney Todd from Theater 55. We open October 3rd, and it's theater55.org. Yes, if you want to see we don't actually have spurting blood, but it's violent. I know, I'm sorry, but it's violent. There is also a ticket giveaway, a sweepstakes based upon taking a trivia, playing a trivia game that closes tonight at theater55.org.
Theater55.org starts October 3rd. Is this a 1 week deal, 2 weeks? How long do you run?
3 weeks, 3 weekends.
3 weeks. All right. And this is indoors. I don't have to worry about the weather?
No, indoors at the Gremlin Theater in St. Paul.
Okay. Oh, I just asked because you do those sometimes outside. I'm like, if I remember correctly, the last one you did outside was a weekend of 100 degrees and humid.
Yeah.
I'm not that guy. I love the theater. I'm not that guy. So, maybe. All right. John, Dan, appreciate you both being here. Appreciate you going off on a little sidestep with me today. I honestly did not know how I wanted to approach today. And then I hit the mic and I'm like, no, you guys are my friends. We can talk it out. I appreciate you very much. Yeah. All right. John and Dan, the guys at the end of the bench in the Al Travis Show.
You need a friend at the Capitol who knows how to get things done.